Okay, let's get up in there.
Well, there you go, that little piece I swiveled out there, there's my stand for my light. And see, those 2x4s are in there for a reason. They're all going up there along the angle of the ceiling, and then they screwed the sheetrock on top of that. Okay, so there's my box. And I'm gonna try to get you down in there. I've got to be careful here. Let's see if I can see this. Yeah, see? There's the box that I could reach from the hole down in the ceiling, okay? We got to get this thing off. And there's a little, see that clip right there? See, right there on my finger. I push on that, that's spring loaded, and I think this top should pull off, but I kind of need both hands in order to do that. And then that should pull this cover off. Okay? And I believe that's how that comes off, because here the main power is coming in. Then I think the wires come from the ballast in through a hole through the back of this into here, then the wire nuts are into here. Okay? And that's just how they had to make these when the can lights were halogen lights, because you have to reduce that power from 110 down so that the halogen works. Nowadays, it sounds as though you can't even buy those anymore. You have to purchase LEDs, can lights, like for those small ones. Okay. I went to Home Depot. I confirmed that Home Depot does not have them anymore. They have the LEDs, which is the equivalent to a 50-watt halogen, an LED that's about 7.5 watts. So it's way better. So if you have LEDs in your house, you don't have to worry about it, right? But even if you have an LED, they've got a little ballast or something in there. Chances are it never is going to burn out. But if it does, you may still have to do something like this. I don't know. So now I just have to be careful and mindful of everything. Let's see if I can't get that off. I got the power shut off to the light. Okay, that came off. And son of a gun, man, that thing's heavy. Wow. Okay. See, I'm not sure if I could have done all that through that hole in the ceiling. We'll show you what I've got so far. I may have to take a little break before I undo this, go down and get a drink of water or something. Okay, I just want to show you what I've done before I take it out of there. I don't think I could take it out until I undo the wire nuts anyways. Okay, see? I pulled this off. That's what I was seeing. See those wires go in through there? Goes into here. The ballast is in here. This thing is pretty heavy too. It's probably, well, I don't know, 3 pounds? 2 or 3 pounds? And see on there, you can see there's going to be a little, I call it a ballast. It could be like a transformer ballast type thing. And see now I've got to undo these wire nuts. And see, I know there's a white wire and a black wire that goes into here. These 2 red wires are attached to the white wires that were coming up through this box. Remember that were hanging down? And there was a ground wire in there too. It must be, they must have Oh, the ground wire comes up. Here's your main power line that comes into this box, see? I knew there had to be a ballast in there. I don't want to just cut these wires off. I want to undo the wire nuts because I'm going to have to undo the wire nuts anyways. Okay? And they even marked them L and N, meaning I guess light, and N for the neutral wire, L for light or L for load. And they have them marked black and white anyway, so the black goes to the black, the white goes to the white. Okay? And so I'm going to go down, I think just for the sake of argument, I want to make sure that that light switch is turned off. Light switch is turned off, then I can mess with these wire nuts and stuff. All I have to do is undo 2 of those, but I want to look at the red too, and I might want to reach up through that hole there and do that. I don't know. We'll see. Remember, the white ones are going in to the Romex Flex, the flexible conduit, and then they're connected to the 2 red wires with this crimped down wire nut. And there's 2 of those, and I can cut those off. I want to cut them off right there and stuff, and then I can probably use regular wire nuts later. Okay, my main goal is to take this, get this out of here, and then I can bring it down and see how to pull this cover off, because the cover's got to come off somehow, and I don't know if the whole cover comes off or if I have to order another one exactly like this, because see how it's attached. It's got little goodies on them that come up and get bent over, and that one's bent over, see? Right there. I'd have to bend those all over to get this cover off, and that's, I don't think, what they want. I think I've got to take this into a lighting store, this whole thing, and order a new one, and then bring it out here, pop it back on, rewire it, and all that kind of good stuff. See? Wow. Very odd that would burn out. It's only 17 years old, but hey, I guess they do burn out. So I could reach in there and get the wire nuts from this side. I could probably do that too. I just want to take a little breather for a minute, go down there with my wire cutters and work on that, and then I'll come back up here. Or maybe I won't even come back up here. I'll just bring that ballast unit downstairs so you can look at it a little bit closer. And once I take those wire nuts off, I want to put them back on. I don't want to just cut that and leave them in case somebody happens to turn the light on, let's say, the light switch, and that other light goes on down there. And then you've got hot wires up here in the ceiling, in that junction box. So I'll make sure everything is nice and protected. Once I cut those mashed up wire nuts on there, I put some little wire nuts on there, and that'll be easy, I think, from down below. Okay. All right. We're almost there. Then I'll have to take that to a lighting store, I don't know if they'll have one in stock or something that's similar. I may have to get exactly the same to get it patched on there, or you know, one thing at a time, I guess. And I may have to bend those clips out of there and pull that back off, so I can get in, if they don't have the exact same thing, and maybe get just a separate ballast, put that in there, and then put that all back together, bring it back up in here, and put it back together. Once I put it back together, you know, then I can reach in there and I can re-support this. I don't have to work on it too much. I cut the nails off and pull it up higher, or I can just leave it if I want. I can put this thing back down into place. I know it's not going to fall down because there's a 2x4 there. There's also a 2x4 there. Right there and right there, see? I could, that little piece of plywood will set back down in there. I didn't know those were exactly there. I didn't want this to fall. Had it have fallen, it wouldn't have fallen that far. You know, and I would have reached it and all that, but I wasn't sure. I was being safe rather than sorry. Then I'll have to put it all back together. Come back up here, put the plywood back down, screw it back down, reattach. All my insulation has to be pushed back in here. And this stuff, you want to just be careful with it as you push it back, because you don't want to squeeze it. You don't want to push it together. See how much there is here? If I squeeze it, see how small I can get it? Well, that affects your R value. You want it to be fluffy. You want it to be fluffy like cotton candy or something. You don't want to push this together. So as I put it back, I'll have to be real careful. That's got fiberglass in it, okay? You want your dust mask on, maybe your eyeglasses on, because when the light's in here, if I just push this around, it gets dusty. That dust is fine particles of glass. And you don't want to breathe that any more than you have to and all that, or get in your eyes. Wear a long sleeve shirt back in here if you can. Even if it's in summer, it's best to do that. I'll have my gloves on. You can put a bandana on, wrap around your neck, whatever. When you get all done, obviously you want to shake all your clothes off. And when you take a shower, you don't want to take a hot shower. You want to take a lukewarm shower. If you do a hot shower, that opens up the pores in your skin, and as you're trying to wash yourself off, you're going to push the glass into your your larger pores of your skin, and you think, oh, I'm going to just rub and scrub really hard, get everything off in a nice hot shower. No, wrong. You want to take a lukewarm shower, and you want to just kind of clean yourself and kind of brush yourself off and clean with your hands and stuff, and you're trying to get all that stuff off. You're not trying to push it in. So if you know, maybe you don't even use a washcloth, or if you use a washcloth, just try to do it lightly. Don't do it too hard. Okay? There's a few tips for you from Joe. All right. I'm going back down. See you in a while.